put a bunch of stuff in Facebook. It gave us something that vaguely like Facebook, but for behind the firewall. So we started experimenting with Quad as a collaboration space, and typically the class sessions start with show what you got done in the last assignment to the rest of the class. The same thing's happening in the online area with Quad, where it's put your stuff up where everybody else can see it, we'll all discuss it jointly, and then next assignment comes out and we work from there. That combination of async collaboration and an activities feed of who's doing what, plus some real-time interaction, has been a win.
And so this notion of students contributing to the education of other students and learning from one another becomes a really powerful environment for us that these technologies can help to enable.
What we're seeing now is using technology, particularly when it's in real time, that enables faculty and students to interact in much richer ways with much better learning outcomes.
The telepresence classroom, as we've designed it, really promotes that interactivity even at a distance. Telepresence has the ability to make that one-to-one connection and to break down those barriers of one person describing information and then 150 people simply consuming it.
So thank you, Carol. And it was really exciting in that video you saw that flipping of the instructional model, right? What you do in class is not what you used to do. That's what you do at home before class. So secondly, we're going to go to Paula Painovich, who's the president of the National Labor College and a longtime leader in distance and education for non-traditional students. Paula?
Thank you. First of all, let me ask you, how many of you have heard of the National Labor College? Well, excellent. The people that worked on the program today. Amazing. I had not heard of it a year ago. The National Labor College is very unique. I'm going to try to talk really fast to give you a sense of the context of the institution so that you can kind of understand how, what and how we are breaking molds in higher education. Listen as I describe it for two really distinctive features of our institution. We are very market-focused and mission-driven, and we excel in partnerships. And I think that you'll see that those two unique and special talents of the institution have brought us to the point we are today. We are the only college in the United States that is devoted exclusively to serving the needs of members of the labor movement. We were founded 40 years ago as the George Meany Center, which is actually located in Silver Spring, Maryland, and our major sponsor and our parent organization is the AFL-CIO, so that, for instance, the president of the AFL-CIO, who is today Richard Trumka, is the chair of our board and is my boss. And the AFL-CIO has supported the college from the beginning, and it started as an education and training center, but immediately the people that were coming there for their education identified that they needed a college degree as well as just basic training. So the institution partnered with Antioch University in the 70s and 80s very early on to help bring those degrees in non-traditional ways to the members of the labor movement. In 1997, the college became a college. It got authority from the state of Maryland. So for 15 years, almost 16 now, we've actually been a fully accredited degree granting institution. We're accredited by the Middle States Regional Accreditor. And the mission, when the college became a college of its own, in its own right, it was to provide and meet the education and meet the educational needs of union members, and also to serve as a center for progressive thought, which is a theme that goes through our whole organization. And I don't want to get into a discussion with anybody about what progressive thought means, but we can have a political discussion kind of offline. Our market is very, very focused. There are 17 million union members today. Union density is in the decline, but there are 17 million union members today. And the interesting thing about our market is we have the names and addresses of all of them. So it's very easy to be market focused, and it's very easy to do market research and figure out what their needs are. The demographics of our student population follows the demographics of the labor movement itself. And actually, our students are the parents of the students that we heard from this morning, the millennials. Our students are the parents of the millennials. So for that reason, the college although we've always been distributed, and our students are all across the country, with some in Canada, the more that Canadian unions have been collaborating with the AFL-CIO. We've always used trailing edge technology. So when we were founded 40 years ago, the technology that we used was planes, trains, and automobiles for people to get to our campus and get to the Labor College. And today we are fully online. So we've kind of followed the technology on the trailing edge for purposes of access for our market, because these are not the millennials that we're dealing with. I don't know how many of them have readers and pads and iPhones and smartphones, et cetera, et cetera. They are working up into online education, and we are working with them and helping them get comfortable in that kind of environment. Our programs, we are a degree completion program, offering today baccalaureate degrees. That was in and of itself, I think, at the time that we became a college and that we became focused on serving the degree needs of students, that in and of itself was something unique. Union members, as you may or may not be aware, bring with them an enormous amount of prior learning, many from the trades, who come with apprenticeship programs, a wide variety of learning. Of the 17 million union members that we have today, 5 million have some college, no degree. So our college is, by definition, degree completion. We incorporate the learning that that our students have achieved in external and other settings into our programs. And so as such, part of our program is an important assessment of prior learning program where we work with the students to identify knowledge that they've gained outside the classroom. We also have a continuing ed program, a non-credit continuing ed program based in labor studies, based in union skills and labor studies. Our programs to date have only been in labor studies to really help union members become better leaders. I'm seeing the long
one more
arm.
minute, so.
A couple more minutes, okay. A lot to say. I said I would talk fast. But what is unique about our programs, besides the fact that they incorporate prior learning, that they have been offered exclusively at a distance, what's unique about them, and what surprised me when I came to the Labor College, was that the programs are all based in a strong liberal arts foundation. Those liberal arts, transferable, what we might call general education skills, are incorporated into each course and into each program. And they are assessed at the course level, as well as all students have an integrated research capstone program at the end of their degree to bring all their learning together. So there's very, very high quality aspects to the programs, which really are built in at no extra cost. It's just about creative thinking and how those programs are uniquely integrated together at the program level. All courses, all programs require study in labor history, labor culture, and labor values. And part of our mission as being a Center for Progressive Thought for the labor movement is to help transmit those values into kind of a postmodern culture where we can't rely on the fact that everybody comes from a union family and already understands that the contributions that the labor movement have made to establishing a solid middle class in this country. This is particularly important because, as I said, one of our great strengths is partnerships, and we're very excited to be entering into a period of expansion at this point, moving beyond offering programs simply in labor studies, and we're moving into professional areas. At a time of economic challenge, it really is incumbent upon a college that serves the labor movement to provide educational programs that will help students to secure their careers, to change careers if they've lost their job, and to really focus on helping them develop jobs. College had no money. Small, struggling, one of those 150 institutions that the U.S. Department of Education puts on their financially unstable list. If you follow the higher ed press, you know that a lot of those colleges are doing